Pickleball has improved my surfing significantly. Typically, when the surf goes small, you go out of shape. Your cardio drops. Well, I shift over to pickleball and my cardio stays the way it is. And I jumped in the water and I started paddling and I thought, oh my God, I'm not tired.
I sat down with Jan Glenn, a longtime resident of Rancho Santana, but also an avid surfer and a pickleball junkie. And we talked with Jan about how pickleball has changed his life. And Jan's been out chasing waves for years and years. And it was just in the last few years, ever since Rancho Santana built some pickleball courts, that Jan has discovered a new sense of community and also a new way to stay fit and healthy. So I'll let Jan say the rest, but I hope you enjoy this interview. Remember to subscribe, share, and like the video. We appreciate you watching. Hey, Jan, I would like you to just open up by telling us a little bit about how you came to living in Nicaragua, and in particular in Rancho Santana. And then I want you to just take us from there into how you discovered pickleball.
I'm a passionate surfer, and I have been I've surfed all my life, on and off, working too. And always in my mind as I grew up, I was thinking of my retirement and where I would retire and surf. I looked everywhere, California, Mexico, Costa Rica, very disappointed. Then a friend I met said, hey, you need to go to Nicaragua. And I looked at it and I said, whoa, wow, Nicaragua, that's scary, isn't it? And he laughed. And today I know why he laughed, but he said, no, you need to go. So I went, and I found some of the best waves in the world and bought property immediately. This was 25 years ago, in 2001. And traveled here as I worked for about 20 years, and then in 2019 I retired, came here to Nicaragua and lived and surf. I surf every day that I can. Problem is, like any other place, the surf isn't good every day. And if you depend on surfing for your exercise and your health, when there's no surf, you're looking for something else to do. And I'm terrible at finding other things to do that keep me going. And so that's where pickleball came in. I discovered pickleball, and I said, wow, this is fun. And not only that, it's good for me. And also it's a great social activity, which I didn't realize that benefit. And so today I just bounce between surfing and pickleball. Those are my two passions.
And we have that in common, our passion for pickleball. You saw me as a surfer out in the water, and it wasn't too pretty, and I would bring out the wrong board and the wrong type of conditions and stuff. It takes a lot of discipline to get to your level of surfing, where you can read the waves that you can, and you can get up on the size of waves that you can at your age. And then also go out and say, well, I have this second physical activity that I do too, which is pickleball. And a lot of people look at pickleball and say, it's not a real sport, it's not athletic. But when we get out and we play our games, especially in Central America, like, you're sweating, and it becomes athletic, and the intensity of the games picks up a lot. There's so many things to unpack here, but like you, I also share this story of how I discovered pickleball during retirement. I thought I was retired and searching for meaning, searching for community, searching for health and wellness and longevity in my life. And you come across pickleball sort of haphazardly, and then you find out, like, wow, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. Can you talk to us about your experience in the Rancho Santana pickleball community and what that's been like for you, and maybe contrast that off of, like, the surf community? Like, where is it similar? Where is it a bit different? You've got both these communities right here in your backyard where you live that you get to tap into and be part of. How are they similar? How are they different?
Oh, how are surfing and pickleball similar and different in Rancho Santana? Wow.
From a community aspect and
Yeah.
just sort of like as activities or just, the
Yeah.
community and the vibe around them?
Well, even though surfing is an individual sport and pickleball is a team sport, so to speak, you can't do it by yourself. Um, to me, it still feels like an individual sport because all I do is every day I want to play, I just show up at 4 o'clock at the pickleball courts, and there's always enough people to play, and that's a great thing about it. I guess that's why it's so popular.
Well, when you're at Rancho Santana, I mean, you hit on some things where it's like there's a sense of community with pickleball, and you refer to it as a team sport, and I get why you say that because it takes more than one. With surfing, you go out and it's just you and the wave and the board, but there's also community in the water there too.
Yeah, okay.
And like, what kind of vibes? Because let's just be frank on things. Surfing, you can get some really bad vibes when you go paddle out at certain breaks in certain communities. I mean, you've been around the world surfing and you've seen quite a variety. Like some places, like they don't welcome new people paddling out. If you're not part of the crew, like good luck in the lineup. You're going to be dropped in on and shunned and all sorts of things. And then same thing in pickleball. There's some places that you go to where like they aren't welcoming to new people or other people that shun, that frown upon people doing drills or playing singles. At Rancho, we've got quite a variety. We've got kids, we've got people in their middle life, people in their later life.
Right.
We've got open play, rec play. We've got people that are drilling and playing competitively and things like this. And so how have you felt the vibe on the courts here at Rancho Santana? How have you mixed in?
Well, one thing I really like about pickleball at Rancho Santana, especially when I started, I was a little bit hesitant, and and I think everybody is because they're worried about their acceptance. Well, everybody at Rancho Santana that plays pickleball, they don't care how good you are. They're very welcoming, and you come in, and if you're not good, they help you. They don't make you, they don't hurt your confidence. They actually promote it, and it becomes fun immediately. There's rarely anything negative, and that it's not just the tough part about pickleball. It's not just learning how to play; it's learning the rules, and it's actually really good mentally when you get older because it's you're constantly having to figure out, the score and who's doing what, and it actually keeps your mind active. So, and as you get better and better, you start playing with better people. You just kind of you kind of progress into a better group of players. But what's great is nobody is ever trying to keep you from coming. I mean, people are very welcoming, and that's what's really wonderful about it.
Yeah, that's what I've liked as well. It's trying to strike that balance between having different skill levels, and that people can get access to sort of the level of play that's going to challenge them. But at the same time, having an open atmosphere where it's nurturing of people that are coming in at different skill levels and, nurturing and supportive and welcoming to like, yeah, come on, join the higher ranks. It's not this sort of elitist, like, oh, you're a bad pickleball player or you're just starting and so you're forever put in that box. It's like, no, you're nurtured and encouraged to come up and play at the higher levels because...
I would say that the biggest barrier for somebody that's just starting in pickleball is they're feeling like they're not going to do good and everybody's going to ostracize them.
Right.
I mean, every time I talk to somebody, they said, oh, what have you been doing? I said, oh, man, I started playing pickleball. And I say, hey, you should come out. And they always go, oh, I'm terrible. I won't be any good. And I have to tell them, don't worry about it. Come and play. Nobody cares how good you are. They're actually going to want you to play and want you to get better because they're trying to grow the community. So, that's what's a great thing about playing here at Rancho Santana.
Now, but I totally get why it looks intimidating too. I mean, before we started playing, when the courts first were built here, and we saw some of the early pickleball founders expat founders in Nicaragua, people that initially imported the nets and the tape and taped up, over at Fun Lemon or taped up the tennis court at Rancho Santana. When we would drive by and see them playing pickleball, we'd be like, that looks like they look really good and talented. And that looks like, these hands battles and stuff. And the ball's just kind of bouncing back and forth. And And, not at the time, I think that might have been like 3.0 level play. And, you look at 2 years later, it's like everybody's improved significantly. So if you are totally new and you haven't seen the sport, or it's your first time seeing the sport, I get why you drive by now and you're seeing like sometimes like 4.5 level, 5.0 level play going on the courts. And that must look real intimidating all of a sudden, right? The kind of like the way that we're crushing the ball now and shaping the shots and the hands battles and the maneuvering and the dinking, it probably looks quite intimidating. But I think that's a really cool point that you draw out, is that the mindset of the people involved that are getting out on the courts, by and large, is about, we actually want fresh meat. We want to grow the community. And we see a lot of goodness in it and health benefits. And so we'd love to share it, and that's really the spirit that we've been able to strike at Rancho Santana. So,
you speak about the health benefits.
Right.
Pickleball has improved my surfing significantly, because typically when the surf goes small or there's no surf and it could last for weeks, you go out of shape. Your cardio drops. Well, I shift over to pickleball and my cardio stays the way it is. And I remember when I first started playing pickleball, after there was no surf and then the first swell that came, I jumped in the water and I started paddling and I thought, oh my God, I'm not tired. And it was pickleball. It was amazing. And that's, I love surfing. It's my first passion, but I've now found a sport that is supporting that passion, and I'm also enjoying the pickleball too,
So Jan, we talked about, as a surfer, the health benefits that you've experienced from being a pickleballer. If you could double click on the mobility that you've witnessed personally.
Well, as a surfer, one of the great benefits of playing pickleball is that it maintains my cardio. That's obvious. It maintains my cardio over the periods of time when there's no surf. But another health aspect of playing pickleball that supports my surfing is as I get older, my body tends to be my joints, become inflamed and creaky in the morning. But playing pickleball keeps my mobility, which keeps me loose. So before pickleball, I wouldn't surf for a week, and then I would go out and start surfing after not doing anything. And then the next day, after that first big day, my body would just be in pain. But now when I play pickleball during those times when there's no surf, and then I go out the first day of the swell, the next day, I feel great. So it's just a fantastic
complementary or synergistic.
Having pickleball supporting my overall health is just, they complement each other so well. It's just fantastic.
Well, and the neat translation too, is that you're safer in the water now because you have more zone 2 cardio. So if you ever get out and something that's like big double overhead or some
Correct.
Giant outside set comes in and you're caught in a bunch of white water, you're safer now. You're in better shape to deal with those conditions. But also you're sharpening yourself to just, keeping in better health all around with mobility and whatnot, so that you can be surfing later in life. There's so many benefits if you were to kind of think it through. So it's fantastic that we're able to sit down and chat with you about this. I think as we build out this community, we're going to want to, double click on this again with you. And it's great that you're able to make this time with us. Are there any closing comments that you'd like to make on any of the topics that we touched on?
I would say that if you have a background in tennis or ping pong or both, you will kill it in pickleball.